What's going on? Please tell me that the stream has not just only started. Oh no. Please tell me in the chat that I've not just gone through the whole newsletter, the whole start of the stream, and it's only just loaded up. Wow. Wow. What the hell? Oh my god. I've literally just finished the newsletter and gone, let's have a look at the chat. Look at the chat. And I was like, what? People say that. And I've seen someone go, I bet he's gone through the whole newsletter. I literally just pressed. I'm not even changed anything. I just opened up the online on the live page and went, you are live. I was like, right, I'm live, okay. And then I looked in the chat and everyone's gone, yeah. Oh my god. I just had such a rant as well. Oh my god. Oh, try and don't disconnect yourself. I know, but when you're reading the newsletter, it's hard to look away because you want to look at the camera and talk. And obviously, there's two screens and my camera's on this screen. Anyway, hey guys, Wozza here. Welcome to the stream. Oh my days! Do I need to go through this again? Oh my days! Did I record it, D-Deck? Yeah, I did record it. Yeah, it's been recording the whole time. Oh my god. But yeah, big thank you to everyone hanging around 25 minutes just why. Yeah. Wow, thanks. But madness. Oh my god. So let's skip through then, they're quick. Oh no. Oh my days. Oh. Look on the bright side. You guys get an extra half an hour of it. I don't. I've got to do it all again. But yeah, but appreciate it guys. But yeah, I just went through obviously the whole chat. So yeah, big thank you to everyone. Big thank you to subscribers. Big thank you to all my members. I won't go through it all again, guys. I won't make you sit here and go through it all again. But if you are in the chat, big thank you. I just said that I've had a massive influx of subscribers recently. So if you are not subscribed, guys, hit that subscribe button right away and become a subscriber. Just to never miss another stream or video. Oh. Okay, newsletter. So I want to just skip through this then quick, guys. I don't want to keep you too long now. Oh my days, I can't believe this. 30 minutes of cat videos. Oh, the cat was on with the video. Huh? Anyway. This week's event is obviously for 5-star Alpha Trion Artan with the 5-star, 4-star, 3-star shards. It is. I tell you what, let's try and do the newsletter super quick. Yeah, 1.5 million for the 4-star, 3.5 million for the 5-star. Usual battle zones, game updates, wiki update, updated level 70 bots. The 5-star vote we'll be talking about it soon. Endurance bots, Alpha Trion and Tar. We'll be taking a look at them shortly. We'll be also taking a look at some other new content coming to the game shortly. Thank you to Tex for doing all the images, playtesters' thoughts. Have them. Check them out, guys. If you're running for the bot, give me an idea on whether you would like the bot or not. Big thank you to Frostbolt for creating all these content over the years. Last week's changes, level 70 bots, the fixed issue my Cronus double healing. Billbot's healing won't stack with my Cronus. My Cronus healing will always take precedent. Anti-healing core has been reduced. 80% G metal, 6% gold, 50% silver, 40% bronze. They've done some zone changes to balance on 15 and 16. They've added 5-star vote to Discord. They're taking a break for a week, which I don't agree with. I don't know why they're going to do that. Name changes, $10 for a name change. What were they thinking? Content creators, go and check them out, guys. Content community corner, good picture of Vortex. Then we've got some woman and we've got Batfink, and that is the end of the news. Was that fast enough, guys? Cool. But yeah, just talking a bit more into this. I know I sort of skipped through it. I was making a bit of a joke, but so Dale went to a um, Dale went to like a convention or something like with all the all the community managers and developers things like that. From the coming back, he said, "Oh, I've got loads of ideas about the content creators and the work and whatever else, and being a community manager and stuff like that. I've got loads of great ideas." All right, cool. And the first things that I said was, "Oh, we're going to take a break, all of us, a week." It's like, what? What? And he sort of said that, yeah, other games do it. I was like, yeah, you get holidays and you all take a week holiday. But why all at once? Why stop the business? My business doesn't stop. I go on holiday, the business carries on, and then I come back afterwards and carry on my job. And everyone should have holidays. Yeah, fair enough. But I don't understand how they all take a week break in the summer at the same time. Just, why can't everyone have a different week? Did they all go away together? Is it like a group holiday thing? We have staff parties and things like that, where we all have a night off, but not a whole week. So I'm not too sure why is that beneficial, all at the same time, making the game stand still, especially when they've sort of said for a long time they've not got enough time to do things, they're running out of time and things like that. So, don't get it. And then Dale hit me about name changes and said, "What do you think?" I was like, "It's a cash grab. It looks like a cash grab. It is a cash grab." And he sort of explained that he didn't want people running in endurances and then changing their name. But my view is, if they're that bad, I'd be kicking them before the end. If it was that bad, I don't mean people just under commitment. I mean people that are blatantly taking the mick. I'd be like, kick them. If it's third day of event and someone's put in a 50k bid and they're on 10k, I'd be like, no, see, listen. Unless I know you. If you're part of the alliance, part of the family, fair enough. And they're good for it because they've got repercussions if they don't because they're part of that family. But if you're an outsider, I'd be saying, listen, and I've known alliances to do this. So if you put a 50k bid in, right? Okay, that's fine. But we want 15k from you by day one, 30k by day two, and then you can do the rest day three, 20k. And them getting 30k by day two, I think that's reasonable if you're an outsider and you don't know that alliance. I think that's a reasonable thing to ask. And I think the warning sign, as soon as someone goes, no, not a chance, that's a warning sign. Fair enough, someone might say, listen, I'm really busy on Friday, but what I will do is I'll do 30k on Saturday alone and then finish my over 20k on Sunday. That's reasonable. But I think by day two, you've got to have done a good portion of your score. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I haven't. I've said to people, listen, I've bid 50k, but I will be on 20k by day two because I'm working. But on Sunday, I'm going to smash 30k out. But I'm well known to the alliance. I'm well known to people, not just in YouTube wise. I mean, like, I've got people know that I do my bidding. I do it. Whether I bid, I do. So they'll go, yeah, that's fine, Wozza. Yeah, because you know what? You've got a track record and we know who you are. So yeah, but then if you don't recognise that name, I'd be like sort of putting things in place. I don't think that's a good enough excuse to charging people $10 for a name change. I get people might changing your name constantly is a bit of a rubbish thing. But for example, say I'm a new player and I'm just starting a YouTube channel up and I want to call myself Fred YouTube. I want to change my name from Fred to Fred YouTube just to help my YouTube channel. Charging me $10 for that is not really fair. I don't think it's extortionate. I just think it is a cash grab. It's too dear. I said to Dale, make it 1,000 coins if you want. That's not too bad. That is £5. But if you're buying a bigger bundle, if you want to buy it in terms of the weekend, then it's like £3 or something. So you could use it as part of that. So I don't think 1,000 coins is stupidly bad. It's enough to put you off spending it, but not stupidly bad. You're not gonna spend 1,000 every time. But even at 2,500 coins, if you're gonna do that, where you're gonna go to Alliance, not do your commit to get a prize, then change your name, 2,500 cyber coins is a lot cheaper than what you would spend going for that bot. So it's a mute sort of subject, really. It's not going to do anything. If I was that sort of player, I would just buy 2,500 coins, go to that alliance, not do the event, and then share my name with 2,500 cyber coins anyway. So I'm not trying to give people ideas, so apologies if that's the case. But, you know, I just think there's ways around that, and that is not good. I just think that having a monetary value on it is probably worse. Having it where you can't change it for 6 months, that's probably more beneficial, if I'm honest with you, because then they can't just do it whenever they want. And I don't think people need to change their name that often. Some people might. We'll have to wait, won't they? I just think it's a bit of a cash grab, if I'm honest with you. I just think that the excuse they've given for it is just a bit trash, really. But yeah. Let's have a back at the chat again. So we're back to where we left off. We literally covered half an hour of conversation in 10 minutes. Master Ninja, open up the game on iPad. Was it super zoomed in? Oh, right, brilliant. I haven't got an iPad anymore. I used to have, but yeah, I don't use it anymore because I use this now. So yeah. I bet C4's all a blur. Yeah. Thanks for joining, Joe Jack. Anyway, I've already said thank you to most people in the chat already. They didn't hear it, but I have. But yeah. Tony B, I'll take the Wozza mug for $100, Mr. Auctioneer. I actually do talk quite fast, if I'm honest with you. So fair play. If you can actually understand my accent and understand me talking, then fair point. You're doing well already. Michael Cooper, the apes like their trips to Amsterdam explains a lot of the problems. I like that. I like that. Freeze Max, I'm in your alliance week and I'm doing all my appointments with 8 hours left this weekend. Yeah, but like I said, but you've been in that alliance a lot longer than me. So if that was me, you know, I'm quite well known in the community and things like that, but I'd expect me as a newer player into that alliance. You know, sometimes they might be saying, listen, we don't even know you, so we might put some stipulations in. Whereas yourself, Freeze, you've been in that alliance for God knows how long now. So they trust you that you're going to do what you've said. You know, they trust you because of your past record of what you've done. So you've got a track record to go off. So yeah, that's fine. Obviously, voted for Skywalk Night Riven. So yeah, so we're going to be talking about new player stuff. A lot of new players have been watching my streams and watching my channel and saying a lot of the content is aimed at top level guys, and want some newer player stuff. So I'm just going to do some top tips for like newer players, basically. Very basic stuff, but if you are a newer player and you're watching the stream, then don't be scared of putting any questions in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. But same for anyone else, really. If you've got any questions in the chat, then put it in. It's fine, guys. Do a bit of a Q&A at the end and catch any questions. So if I don't catch them during the stream, just stick them at the end of the stream when I sort of say, and I can do a bit of gameplay and just a bit of Q&A. Like the sort of Monday streams that I used to do, where I used to play the game and just talk to you guys and answer questions. But yeah, if you've got any questions, put it in the chat, guys. It's fine. No questions is too stupid, honestly. Other than the question of how much I weigh, Brian time. D-Deck, nervous about the things Dale takes point on. Yeah, the focus is in the wrong place sometimes, I think. I like Dale a lot. I like most of the apes, I want to see her. I don't think there's any ape that I really dislike. Some more than others I like, granted. But I like Dale a lot. And you got to think, he's only started this role, what, a year or two ago? And that's not long in a new role of something you don't know. And he's done listen, I am under no illusions that without Dale, this game would have been a lot worse than what it is now. That's a God's honest truth. Is it perfect, though? Well, Dale's not perfect. No one's perfect. But is it ideal the way things have gone sometimes? No, it's not. And I don't think for 1 minute they've done this purposely and thought, oh, sack them off. It's just that they've not really listened to feedback, or they thought that their view is better in some way when we've got the whole community saying something. And you know, you will hear the community say something sometimes, and you'll hear people like myself that know a bit of common sense are like, no, that's not a good idea, let's be honest. Like someone will go, do an event and give away 20,000 5-star shards. You're like, yeah, everyone would love 20,000 5-star shards, but it's going to sort of break the economy. You know, I'm still benefiting now from Dino Gate last November. So to give you an idea, so things like that can sort of, you know, have an impact on the economy long term, and I understand that. But there's some things that even myself, I'm saying like this shouldn't happen, or this can't happen, or this needs to happen, and doesn't happen, and that's the frustrating thing when they go, nah, we don't think it's a problem. What? Like the Zone 15-16 thing. That's been going on for months. For months, I've been even going in the chat going, no 17s in 15, and people have been saying like, why is this happening, why is that, why this needs balancing, and they have to go, no it doesn't, and no we've already done a balancing, and it's not easy to do, we can't do it, and all these things. I was like, yes you can do it, blah blah. And you know, it's happened. So it can happen if you want to. We've just got to push hard enough, sadly. But they've got to, I've said this time and time again, they've got to be less reactive and more preventative. So look ahead and go, listen, this is going to be an issue if it carries on, so let's sort it now. As soon as these sort of things happen, don't wait and wait and wait and wait and go, oh, it's an issue, and then take 3 months to fix it. But big thank you as well for Freezius for being a member. Big thank you, buddy. And also go and check out Freezius's streams. I think he says he's going to do videos soon as well, which would be good. See him doing videos. But I know Freezius has just been monetized as well, so if you want to support him, then consider being a member for him as well, guys. We're going to look at the 5-star vote as well. We're going to talk a bit about that as well. Yeah, that Polish, but any community manager's got a has the work out for him, definitely. Tony B, I vote for Tracks or Cup. Sadly, they're not in the vote, but they might come in the 5-star batch. You never know. Vote for Nose Cone. See, I think a few people voted for Nose Cone for that reason, to finally get him fixed. But then I thought about Hound. This is why I'm a bit nervous about doing that nowadays. I'm not going to vote for bots that I think need a change because it doesn't come, and then I'm disappointed. So, yeah, didn't happen to Hound, so I'm not going to do that again. So I am going to literally vote for a bot that is ready to go, and then I know what I'm getting. Plain and simple. I might vote for some little changes, but if you're looking for a rework, guys, it might not happen. So just keep that in mind. So you might get a 5-star version of Nose Cone as he is now. Just remember that. You voted for that. Remember that. Christian, that's a long name, you know. Christian Tom 17 T Cons leader. Hi. Hey Chris. Hey Chris. Join my alliance sometime. I tried doing that. So when I first created the system of my members, what I actually did was I said I'll come and play with you in your alliances. But what I found was that any big event, I can't leave my alliance. If we're doing a war, I can't leave my alliance. And I'm not sure if low down players know this, but top alliances war 24/7 pretty much. Even during leaderboard, they war. So you're constantly warring, so you can't sort of leave mid-war, because the war is huge for the top alliances. It's the main focus, I'd say. So, I found it very hard to leave. It was on the individual events when it was 10k only, and then leave. So it was like once a saga, and it just wasn't enough for the amount of people that wanted me to do that and things like that. So it's not something I can sort of do, sadly. It's a shame, really, but I would love to be able to do that. Honestly, like, I think it'd be really cool. It'd be good for me to be able to get into the community and meet new people and be in them alliance chats. People aren't in Discord online, maybe. And yeah, it was a really good idea, but it's just not feasible in this game. I just can't. The amount of rewards I would lose by leaving my alliance. It's not fair on my alliance. Like, we need 40 players that can do well. And if I was one of the worst players, I kind of get it, but I'm not the best, but I'm up there. My points are important. That's the point I'm making. So if I was to leave and then say, oh, I'm coming back, though, I'd be like, well, you keep leaving. I'm just going to find someone else that can stay here. I wouldn't blame them for that, so it's not something I can do, sadly. It's a shame, but yeah. Try and vote for Beachcomber. Doja's put Spinster would be my second choice, so I presume you vote for someone else then. Oh, Twin. But yeah, we'll talk about that shortly as well. Okay, let's have a look at the new feature coming to the game soon, then we can crack on with some other content. Just want to go through some bits. Oh, I've not loaded it up. This is actually the point I was doing. I was loading the test server up when I realised that the chat waving on. Vixen, yeah, I know you're from Ireland. I know. You know, we've talked. Yeah, cool. Even man can be even hard for Irish people, you know. I've actually got a lot of I think I spoke to you about this actually, Fix. I've got a lot of Irish relatives. So my ancestors were Irish. That's where they pretty much come from. Um, a little town called Castle Dawson in Derry. I still live there now, and I used to go over when I was younger quite often because my grandmother was Irish, and we used to go back home with her to go and visit, and it was like funerals or weddings or anything like that we go over. And it was just madness the amount of family I've got over there. Honestly, I go over there and people be like, "This is your cousin, and this is your cousin, and this is your cousin, and that's your cousin, and that's your auntie, and that's your second cousin, that's your second auntie," and just everywhere, like madness. And yeah, why is it not loaded? This is worrying. If the test account's not working, then I can't show you Alpha Trion on time. Interesting. But yeah, the point I'm making was my uncle. I could not understand a word he said. Why is the test account not loading? Obviously, C4, tell me I can speed the stream up. I don't know. Pro Vault Inferno. Oh, I wanted to have a look at Alpha Trion and Tarn, but sadly it's not loading up, guys. So if you want to see Alpha Trion and Tarn, then I think you'll have to go and check out my old content, guys. I updated this the last week. Yeah, the emulator is been a bit because the update has been a bit funny, but test server being down is not good. I know the update's not compatible, so because I'm a content creator, I get special sort of treatment from the apes in getting files, APKs, things like that. But they won't give it to anyone, guys. You know, if you ask them, they won't give it you. Honestly, they won't give it out to anyone. So, you know, I got an APK off them for this emulator for my account because I'm a content creator. That's they won't support anyone else really unless you're a content creator. But this was updated. What? Yesterday was the last time I used it. It was working fine. What was I testing yesterday? I was testing some level 70 bots. That's what I was doing. Seeing whether leveling up to level 70 was worth it or not. And I wanted to show a bit of that today. But what we'll do is we'll just have a bit of a chat instead. And load the normal game up, sadly. But yeah. If this works now. Oh, what is going on? This was definitely working today. Oh, there we go. Very strange. Can I talk about Alliance HQ at all? I was going to show you Alliance HQ. I've actually done a video on it. But yeah. I'll try and get the test server up after this, because that was loading up. That was weird, that. But yeah. King Grimlock. I feel like swearing at you there. But great stream, was it? Okay. Let's just see if the test server loads up now. That's loaded up now. Test server. Come on, 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 come on. Yes! Now it's working. Come on. Don't count your chickens too early, was it? Okay, I think it's loading now. Okay, 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 okay. I'm okay with that. Oh. What is going on? Artifacts Dale. Yeah, it's not working, guys. Sadly. But yeah. So, Alliance and Tarn. So I did have a quick chat about them before the stream was actually on. But Alliance and Tarn, I'm not going for them personally. I don't really like control bots like that. I'm not a big fan of it. I wasn't a big fan of Aerial. Very similar in some senses. I'm not a big fan of Inferno. I like a support bot to do a specific job, not just to improve other bots. I'm not a big fan of that. I just like one bot to do one thing. I said this in my last stream actually, I think. I like my tanks to be tanks, my gunners to do damage, my jets to do damage, my healers to heal. That's why I'm not a big fan of Hoist. It's a healer crossbred. I get people like that. I'm fine with that. No problem with it at all. It's just not for me. I'm not a fan of that. Trax is a very good bot. I can't see anyone really beating him for what he does. Very good. So yeah. Grind time. I can see a message grind time. I can see it. Although sometimes I know your messages can't go up sometimes. I know that. I've seen that sometimes. I remember once like you had made a joke about me not looking at your messages and then yeah. I can see a message though. Cool. Critman always put maybe you can see them. Cool. I don't need to charge my stuff after. God. Been a manic day today. Cool. So, yeah, I'll try on Tarn. Good bots. Just not my cup of tea, not my thing. But I'm not going to sit here and criticise too much. But one thing I think was really, really good was I've sat here and I've criticised Playtest for the last 2 months maybe and said how awful it's been. And it has. And I don't think you'll encounter a playtester that will say otherwise. There's a lot of playtesters that are a lot more passive than me. They'll be like, yeah, it's okay. Do you mean like that? But even those, I think if you said to them like, what have you thought of playtest recently? I think even they would say it's been awful, and it has. But Jesse has now come in that chat, which I'm pleased about. I was hoping Jesse would. I was hoping that Jesse wouldn't be a bystander and passing information to Dale to pass to Jesse was a bit. You want to speak to, you want to speak to the organ grinder, not the monkey. I don't know, it's basically for a joke actually, but yeah. But you want to speak to him directly, and Jesse came in the chat. All credit to him, and there's a lot of passionate people like myself in there that are, quite strong personalities, and it can be a bit overwhelming for some people. But he came in there, but he came across really well. He was knowledgeable. He was open to suggestions. Made the G1 core. We said it's pretty awful. And now back in the day, the apes had gone, well, we're pretty happy with it. And we'd have gone, boy, that's crap. But to be fair, he changed it. Literally changed it, reworked it, works a lot better now. And I'm a lot happy about I'm a lot happier about the way Playtest has gone this time around. A lot happier. So it's hard to be mad at this bot. How it's been. Yeah, very good. Very good from Jesse. Very good from Space Ape. Literally night and day difference. And yeah, big thank you to Jesse, like I said, for being in that chat and doing the job he did. Not a fan of the bot, but the process was absolutely amazing. So yeah, and I don't use that word lightly, but yeah, the process was really, really good. Refreshing. There was no arguing in there. There was no complaining really. It's a couple of issues that we needed to clear up. They got cleared up quite quickly. It just gave us loads of time to go through things and make sure, because things crop up afterwards. People don't think of things in the moment, and then people go, "Oh, I've just been thinking. What about this? And what about this? What about this situation?" So it was really good, really refreshing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Alliance HQ. So Alliance HQ is obviously coming soon. I wish I could shorten the stream, guys, but as you can see, the test server is not working, sadly. But in terms of Alliance HQ, so I think it was in the newsletter. Actually, let's just flick back to the newsletter a minute. And where is it actually? It's on here. Okay, cool. There we go. So, Alliance HQ will be coming, I think, in the next week or two. It won't be long now, guys. There wasn't much testing involved in it. It was more just to have a look at this and see what you think. And I've been talking a lot about what it would mean to people. And my initial thing was I thought that it'd be good for new players. It'd help new players out a lot. And now, after seeing what it entails, I'm still not too sure. I think it's going to be something. I think it's going to be like Titans, where when it comes out, people are like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. It's something new." But when we start getting into the nitty gritty of it, we're like, it's not that good an addition. And I think Alliance HQ will be the same. You know, it's good that they're bringing something into the game, but doesn't have enough impact on the game. The problem with Titans was it had too much of an impact in some instances and not enough in others. The game mode for it was very repetitive and quite boring and robotic, and just wasn't. I actually said in one of my streams I thought that Titans was the worst addition to the game in the last few years, and I still sort of stand by that. Very cool, but in terms of what it does, it's not very good. And the problem with this is the percentages. They played it very, very safe, and they have said that they can extend it past that, which is okay. But let's just talk about the max. Let's say that a lower alliance has maxed out the all the parts of the Alliance HQ, which I don't think will be an easy feat. I think it's going to take a massive alliance to do it. You know, the whole alliance sort of working towards it. So if you were to max out the building research center, you get an extra 15% time reduction. So to give you an idea, if you put a bot in for a week upgrade, so you're talking about 160 hours off my head, I think. So 160 hours. So you reduce that by 15%. So that's like 18 hours. So you're not even reducing it by a day. So a week upgrade will be like 6.25 days. It's hardly even noticeable. It's not a massive, you know, that should be like 50% that research. 50%. Let's cut it right down for people. So people want to get to level 5. Right now, I'm like, it doesn't matter if I get to level 5, really. 15% is nothing. And that's level 5. No, level 1 is 3%. 3% out of like 160 hours is 5 hours. You're not going to notice 5 hours. You might sleep the 5 hours past the research for when you wake up and do it then. So, you know, the percentages need to increase on that. The building rookie academy, I can get that's maybe good for people with alt accounts or people with, you know, lower accounts that do well in events, things like that. But do you need 5 rookies in an alliance? If you've got 5 rookies in an alliance, then I think your alliance needs looking at, really, and your numbers and your people. I just don't think that rookies for top alliances might work. Keeping them out of wars. People are lacking in defense but doing well in attack. So you're not just judging the defense as well. But I still think it's a top. It's still an important part to have a good base if you're a top player, you know. But yeah. But again, if they would increase the you know, the research, make that better, then when it came to the rookie academy, then you wouldn't need that as much because people can get through it faster. Intel room, so again, 15% extra energon. But yeah, you know, alloy energon 15%. I mean, the max, the usual I will get is about a million, $1.5 million. So I'm getting an extra 150k per battle. It's not noticeable. I won't really notice it. Over 10 battles is about 1.5 mil. But when I'm getting 15 mil, 1.5 mil is hardly noticeable. For level 5 again, it's just not enough. Again, that should be like 100%, to be honest with you. It's not going to help new players at lower levels. It's just not. For the amount you've got to work at it. The training center, this is probably the one thing that I'm actually excited about, is more XP. But if this is the only thing I'm excited about out of the whole thing, why didn't they just increase XP and save themselves the cost of making all this? I'm hoping there's more to come out of Alliance HQ. That's just the start of it. But I'm skeptical of that. Mining station. So harvesters will do 10% more. You don't get a lot from harvesters. Anyway, I think I can go through the game without even using my harvesters personally. I think I could get rid of them. It's actually probably beneficial to me to get rid of them. It's less points in a war and make bases down a bit easier. So you can get rid of my ally and energy harvesters personally. They don't give me enough. So for level 5, for 10%, again, it's not enough. Defensive operations. Yeah, I'm just not too sure how it's going to work. So we'll talk about this again, like, who'd you give this to? So who'd you give a defense and offense bonus to? So obviously defensive operations is increasing defense up to level 10. And you pick 3 defenders, and I believe that one of those will get picked for base 4 in a war. And they'll get a 10% HP and DPS bonus on defense. And then the strikers... What's the strikers opus? Is it? Yeah, I don't know there. But regardless, yeah, just 10% to base 4 makes base 4 harder than base 5. And that just makes no sense to me. Why base 4? Base 4 is sometimes a harder base already. And you're just making it even harder. So in one instance, they're saying to us, we want to make the game easy, which we're going to talk about again shortly. And then another instance, they're going, let's make it even harder and lower your war points. They're just all over the show. There's no continuity in it. Oh yeah, and then there's Striker one. So defense has 10% extra, and then Striker has 10% extra as well. But again, who would you give the Striker to? Defense, I get you give it to some of the people with hard bases already. The Striker one though, do you give it to your lower player? And that's sort of cheating the other players that aren't, strikers. If you are finishing bottom of the alliance and one of them strikers is just above you and they're staying in the alliance, when you send people down and up, because what most of the top alliances do, they sort of, whoever has the average lowest will go down to the alliance below them and up. Who do you give it to? If you give it to your top player, always 300s, kind of a waste. If you give it to a middle-level player to make him a 300 player, that he's going to get promoted in front of someone that does it without this bonus, so it's not really fair. And again, you give it to a lower guy, then you're cheating other people from going down. So it's very complicated who you're going to give it to. But yeah. But yeah, I have done a bit of a stream on it, and we will obviously show it again next week when the test servers are working properly. But I'm just very skeptical about it right now, and how it's going to work, and how much impact it's going to have, and how much it's actually going to help, and not as much as I think Space Ape think it will. Once yeah. Let's have a look. See what everyone's putting in the chat. Simon Hayes. Yeah, I dropped Blaster, put him back in, dropped him, put back in. Bit of an okie coke, to be honest with you. So, yeah. What else? Doja, I agree in your opinion on Guy Hawk being king of H18. Very, very good bot. Yeah, very, very good bot. Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, why add more to the game and more to fix? It's a good point. Yeah, Tony B's got it there. Look, I've got 20 bots waiting to go level 60. Yeah, the research time needs improving. I actually said to them, like, remove the research from 1 to 50. And just have 50, 60, and then maybe one day 70, and that is it. And then make 50 less. Easy. How are loyalty points appearing? Yeah, you just literally donate and you get loyalty points for donating. That is it. why do you really need harvesters for after you are maxed out? Yeah, just resources for changing cores over, things like that. Charging your shield gen, things like that. But for me, in a whole day, I don't get enough alloy to charge my shield gen. I should get at least 2 mil a day. That's my thinking. But if we're looking at it, I've got 4 of those. Let's do some maths. So let's call it 8k per hour. 8, 16, 1.7 mil a day. So, well, maybe to be fair, with the Alliance headquarters, you actually get enough to do that. Or they could just increase the amount you get and scrap Alliance HQ. You know, I think it's been overthought. Lancaster, I've had bots waiting for years to be upgraded, getting pushed back for better bot upgrading. Yeah, same. Yeah, cool. Free as max. I don't like that teams that move for events will miss out on XP when we first get Alliance HQ. No, I don't see why we have to move though. Most people got alliances though, you know, to working already. I just don't think they like doing it for their war average. I don't know. So why would you? Can someone tell me in the chat why would you have event alliances? Why not just use the alliances that you're in already? You can stop and change. I'm not saying you got to stay in your alliance that you're in, but why can you not just use that alliance? What's the benefit of going to a event alliance? I don't know. Lancaster, you don't need harvesters for 2 mil. Quit being lazy. That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. Depends on the size of the family. We were in TF. And we were one of the biggest families going. And we never had event alliances. Ever. We just used psyops. We used it. You know. Don't know. Can I explain the defense outpost again? One of the selected defenders always base 4. That's my understanding, yeah. That you select 3 people as a defensive base 4, and one of those people will be picked as base 4 every single war, and they will get a 10% HP and DPS bonus on their defense. That's my understanding. So yeah. No, Alpha Tryon, I understand that Scorch Alliance take bids. We take bids. But why can you not use Scorched Earth as the team for going for the 5-star bot, and then use your second Scorched Alliance in order to go for the 4-star, and your third to go for whatever, and go down like that and use your alliances already? I don't know why you can't use your alliances. I understand bids, I understand swapping and change, I understand all that. We do that. TF do that. Or G1 as they're called now. But yeah, they all do that. But the point being is G1 use the alliances they already have. They don't have a second alliance. I don't understand why we have second alliances doing that. Don't know. See, that's it, I think, Freezer's put, yeah, some folks don't want their alliance war scores down. Yeah, I think that's the only one. Yeah. Yes, Vixen, yes, I left just before the merger, so we would have been teammates, but no. I left just before the merger to make it, with ARC, to make it G1. So, yeah, but some good people over there, no doubt. Can you select the commander, Joshua? Yes. So whoever is the commander of the alliance is always base 5. So you can guarantee base 5 and have a 1 in 3 chance of base 4. And I like that. That's brilliant. Fine. I just don't agree with the 10% increase base 4. For me, the striker's outpost should have been in with the commander. Or the commander should be base 4 and the striker's outpost should be base 5. And that's a 10%. The hardest bases should be base 5. Period. That's my point. I'm not bothered how they do it, but the hardest base has to be base 5. It makes no sense for the hardest base to be base 4. You know, you don't go harder, easier at the end. It makes no sense. Any chance of me ever coming back? I mean, never say never. I mean, so for those that I've talked about this a bit in the past. I don't want to go over it too much again. But I was one of the founding members of TF back in the day. I've left a couple of times. I left to go AA Alliance for 6 months. I left to go to ARC for I think about 3 or 4 months, something like that. But other than that, I've literally been there since day one, which is beta, when we created the alliance. So I've always said that is my home, regardless. I always look at that fondly and consider that my actual home. But things happen in the game, and now I'm enjoying my time in Horde, and we'll see how that goes. And as long as I'm enjoying my time in Horde, some good guys in Horde, there's some funny guys in there. When I joined, text said, listen, there's some crazy guys. I like that though. I like it. It takes you away from the drag of life. You know what I mean? Having fun people in there that are good jokers. I think that is good. But yeah, as long as I agree with the direction that Horde are taking, and as long as they're doing the right thing and we're winning wars, then yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's great. All hail the Horde. It still feels weird saying that, but yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's have a look at the 5-star vote, and we'll talk a bit about the bots and what's happening. So we can see there that Inferno and Radimus Unicronus have got 192 votes. Now, when you consider there's 30,000 players in VIP and 192 votes for Inferno, I think a lot of players haven't voted. So if you haven't voted yet, guys, go and vote. Go and vote in Discord. But first place is Inferno and Radimus Unicronus, 192. And then Rotorstorm and Sinister at 191. How close is that? Wow. But only 1,700 votes. That's not a lot of votes, guys. So if you haven't voted already, go and vote now. But I know that a lot of people are voting for other bots. And I've seen someone put like, Dark Raven early and things like that. Just remember that I don't know who the top 5 are, but if you're not voting for one of these top 3, your vote is wasted. Because whatever vote you picked is not going to win. It's going to be one of these 3 bots now. And if I'm honest with you, it's going to be one of these 2 bots. It's either going to be Inferno or Rotorstorm. Maybe both. But it's going to be one of those. I don't even think Cosmos and Mindwipe have got a chance now. I don't know why anyone would vote 5-star Cosmos on Mindwipe. I pulled Mindwipe on the China server. It wasn't good, guys. It wasn't good. It was level 1, ability 1 forever. Ever. Awful bot. Good for defense in events. But I never understood this. Why put Cosmos in your outpost for events? It doesn't affect you in the slightest. You don't lose anything in events. You don't lose any resources. It means nothing to you. Now, in events, and I want to stress this, and don't jump the gun, guys. In events, you could put your Alliance headquarters, your HQ up front. You could put your HQ right at the front and lose nothing. But if you do that, it's great for the community and honestly, everyone gets free XP. But if you're in a war and you do that, you're going to have serious implications. So if you are considering doing that, don't be in a war alliance when you're doing it. If your alliance is this weekend is not warring, just going for the event, and yeah, do that. It's great for people to get extra XP. It's great. But be careful of war, guys. You don't want to knack up your chances of war, doing well in wars because you've been putting your HQ up front. But so you don't get anything from people losing. So why put bots like that in your outpost? That's the only reason I can think of it, because when you attack with a full team, Mindwipe's nothing. Mindwipe's awful. The only time Mindwipe is OP is when people are trying to solo and duo bases with 1 or 2 bots, and people only do that in big events, really, or events, really. So all you're doing is really knocking other players up. I don't get it. It's just trolling, to be honest with you. That's what it is. If you're putting Mindwipe in an outpost, it's pretty much just trolling, guys. So let's just think of that. But here's a conspiracy theory for you. Here's a conspiracy theory. So here we go. Oh, hello Daisy. maybe Daisy can answer this. Maybe. So this is my conspiracy theory, and it is a conspiracy theory, but it's based on fact. So, if you were to play the game and you go attack bases, there's not enough bases in the game. You start repeating yourself. So Space Ape have created generic bases, and you might have attacked in zone 10 or 11 or something like that. And when you do, the outpost pop and there's nothing inside. Those are generic bases that Space Ape have made to influx bases within the game. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with that. I understand the need to do that. And so I've no doubt that they've done this at different levels. I'm not sure where it stops, if it stops wherever, but at different levels. I'd say maybe HQ 15, 16, maybe. It's probably stopped. Maybe less. I don't know. But do you think that Space Ape have put all these Cosmoses and Mind Wipes in the outposts of these generic bases? Have a look. If you go do an event this weekend, if you come up against a Cosmos and Mind Wipe, have a look at the alliance name. Is it an alliance that you know? Have they even got an alliance? Conspiracy theory, but you know, I think it's a thing. I do. Daisy's putting me on the spot. Oh, Wozza. But I think it is. I honestly think it is a conspiracy theory. But I'm sure Daisy can go back and ask the team. But yeah. But while we are on the subject, I want to say a big thank you to Daisy, or Daisy, as she's better known in Discord. So Daisy is sadly leaving Transformers Earth Wars and going to another game if you've not seen already. And if you don't know Daisy, so Daisy is one of the community managers along with Dale. Has done a great job. I had a chat with her earlier. And, you know, listen, we're all critical of the apes, like I said. But I don't for 1 minute think that they do anything malicious. It's just their focus is sometimes in the wrong place. That's all it is. We get frustrated, but, you know, I don't hold a grudge against people for that, you know, or thinking anything less of them. You know, like I said earlier. Did I say it earlier or didn't I? Again, because of the way the stream's gone, I can't even tell if I did say it earlier. But I think Dale's brilliant. And I think that Dale is a massive positive for the game. Is he perfect? No. Did he make mistakes? Yes. Do I agree with decisions sometimes? No. But Dale knows that, and I tell him that. But our relationship's still the same. I still think Dale's brilliant. I think he knows that. Regardless, you know, I still like the guy. Regardless of what he does or what he says or whatever, you know. But they're both massive for this community, and Daisy's going to be a massive loss for Transformers Earth Wars and a benefit to wherever she is going to. So good luck, Daisy, honestly. Oh, look at the build, and I hope you smash it. Yeah. Yeah, but don't tell him he's pretty awesome, though. It'll go to his head, won't it? So, yeah, don't tell him that. Cool. Brian Miller, I always assume the non-alliance bases that people quit the game. It is some, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are. But I only know that because when I went on the test server, this is what sort of opened my eyes a bit. When I went on the test server, there was bases with no outposts in, and I realised they were generic bases. I've never heard of the player, never seen it. It was very obvious they were generic. They're not only in a certain zone, things like zone 12. So when I'm attacking 13 and 14, it's people that I recognise, and names that I recognise, and alliances I recognise. But in zone 12, I didn't recognise any of them at all. I didn't none. Because everyone that's in a test server has a maxed out base, so we can test what it's like going up against a maxed out base. That's what we test it at the top of the level of the game. So I don't know what bases before that are generic bases, but there's definitely generic bases in the game. 100% sure. Have Space Ape put certain outposts in? I don't know. That's just me just spitballing. You know, is it max HQs? I don't know. I don't know where it ends. I don't know what they've done. So there is generic bases, but 100% is in the game. Yeah. What else? Chris Harmon, people aren't thinking acid is meta, the 5-star buff Leo would get. You say that, but I thought Hound would get a buff and didn't, so you never know, you know. Justice for Cutthroat. Why Justice for Cutthroat? You mean you want him as a 5-star, I presume, then, yeah. But, yeah, God. 192 it's drawing. Since we've been talking, Rotorstorm's going to win it, guys. But yeah, I voted for Rotorstorm, as you can probably tell. And the only reason is, like I said to you, like, I like my bots to do their job, whatever it is. I like my tanks to be tanks. I like my gunners and jets to do damage. I like my healers to heal. I'm not a big fan of Hoist for that reason. Like I said, is a healer crossbred. Not a big fan of it. And Inferno is just a booster. He boosts other bots. I'm not a fan of Aerial for that reason. I'm not a fan of Alpha Triumph for the same reason. Not that they're bad bots. I'm just not a fan. I've seen plenty of good videos of Inferno. So if you want Inferno as a 5-star, I kind of get that, but 50% I'm hoping it get. But it could get 40%, guys, but for longer. Just remember that. Just because you vote Inferno does not mean he's getting 50%. I think SpaceX have got like a magic number in mind when they do all these things. Because sometimes when we're in chat with in the playtest chat with the with the devs, they say, oh, we can't go, that's a bit too much, that number. And so they've got numbers in mind. And I think 40% buff is the max. Because that's what Inferno got. This even got Alpha Triumph got as a 5-star even. So I think Inferno will stick at 40% and just get the duration increased by time more, maybe a few seconds. And I don't think that's good as a 5-star. I don't see the benefit. I think you're better with a 4-star. Honest, yeah. But yeah, not a big fan of Inferno for that reason. I think he's a good bot. I see value in him. Will a 5-star be much better? No. There's a few bots like that where I've said, listen, this bot is good as a 4-star. You don't really need a 5-star. I think Trax is the same. I think Trax as a 4-star does the job really, really well. I don't think we need a Trax 5-star other than DPS increase, HP increase. I don't think we need it. I just think it's really, really good. And we've talked about Cosmos and Mindwipe. Obviously, that's just trolling. But Rotorstorm's good. Rotorstorm's a good bot. It does a lot of damage. And I can see value in using Rotorstorm and using Laser Optimus and other sort of spam bots and Sentius. Imagine a 5-star Sentius, a 5-star Rotorstorm, and a 5-star Laser Optimus getting sped up by Wheeljack. Oh, yes, I'm feeling that. I can see videos coming already. I've done some spam team videos, and that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, Roadbuster, I'm not a big fan of. No, Toyo Studios put Roadbuster. I'm not looking forward to Roadbuster at all. But yeah, I voted Rotorstorm as well. I think Rotorstorm's a very good 4-star. I think my 4-stars are like level 59, I think, and I was using it for a bit of Zen and stuff. So yeah, very good. I was thinking about this batch and bots that are coming, and there's not a lot of bots that I need. If I'm honest with you, there's sort of bots that I want, but not a lot of bots that I need. I'm getting to that point in the game now, sort of end game content. So 5-star Rotorstorm, yeah, I would level a 5-star Rotorstorm. Yeah, just to match Laser Optimus, just for something else. Those front-loaded bases, be interesting. Be interesting to see how they work. Alpha Transport, bro, that's my team now. Shh. Snakes Support Scrapper 5-star would be cracked. Yeah, Scrapper would be good. That's why I voted. Well, actually, I voted for Breakdown Prime and what's the bot? Oh my god, I can't remember the bot version for once. I remember the com version. Bulkhead. I voted for them because of the slow. Don't forget, slow slows the MDS down. Whereas Scrapper wouldn't. It's just a shield, whatever. Just don't forget that Sideswipe is glass gas. But even a 5-star Sideswipe would be good. I'm feeling a 5-star Sideswipe, I think that'd be pretty decent. I'd rather get a 5-star Sideswipe over a 5-star Ironhide. Put it that way in. 5-star Ironhide is considered good. See, a few people obviously put Streetwise in the chat as well. I'm not a big fan of Streetwise. It just doesn't work right. Good if you're a sack player. Brilliant if you're a sack player. But you need to get, if you're going to use Streetwise, you need to get defenses or outpost bots and your bots in the same area. And it's very rare that you'll get your bot in the same area as defenses, because usually where your gunners are, that area is already cleared because your gunners are shooting at it. The only time you would do that is when you sack and you got the combiner and the outpost bots in an area with your bots, and you want to speed yours up and slow theirs down. So I just find that with Streetwise, it's too expensive, and you can either speed up or slow down. You struggle to do both at the same time. So if Streetwise become a 5-star, they either need to expand the area a lot, or they need to make it cheaper. And I think cheaper is a better option. So you can choose to either speed up or slow down or not. both really. That's just certain times, but that'd be pretty cool. Does Spinster already have ability 11? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. If you're in the stream and not voted, go and vote Spinster and Rotastar now. I literally gave a speech earlier saying, listen, don't be influenced by me, guys. But I like an underdog. I do. I like an underdog story. And Inferno was winning all the way, and everyone now is like, nah, that's not happening. We're not having that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Rotastorm. When I did a review of him, I thought it was really, really good. But don't forget, these bots doesn't mean they'll get ability 11. I'm pretty sure Rotastorm haven't got ability 11. I might be wrong though. No. No. G1 core. No ability 11. But neither has... Well, Inferno got ability 11, hasn't he? So, yeah. Tex is pushing Inferno. Right, okay. If Tex is pushing Inferno, I'm pushing Rotastorm. Go and vote Rotastorm. Listen, Tex is a good friend of mine. But hey, if he's going down that route of pushing, then I'm going down that route of pushing as well. Go and vote Rotastorm. Cost for Beast Wars Ironhide. I think Beast Wars Ironhide would be good though as a 5-star. I do. But again, I go back to that if it's not one of these 3 bots, it's kind of a wasted vote. If you voted a different bot right now, other than them 3, it's not going to get in, guys. It's not going to get in. You know, you better vote, change your vote to one of those 3. And joking aside, but honestly, like, guys, just vote one of those 3. If I was you now. Yeah. If you voted for Beast Wars Ironhide, it's a good vote. I agree with you. It probably should be a 5-star, but it's not going to be now. It's too far behind. You know, I don't think even Cosmos and Mindwipe. If I'm perfectly honest, I would say go and vote for either Inferno or Rotastorm and pick one of those, because nothing else is going to win now, no matter what. So yeah, Kingdom, I would push Sideswipe, but Sideswipe's not going to win now, regardless. I can push saying I think it'd be good, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, I don't have that much push, believe it or not. I don't have that much save, space ape. Mercenary Terror, I'd definitely vote Splinter if I had Discord. Well, just go in there. If you don't have Discord, go and download it. Go and get in there. It's worth it just for the votes. But yeah, so we'll come back to that shortly. But I did want to talk a bit to some newer players, sort of give them some tips starting out, because I've had a lot of newer players hit me up on my videos and streams saying, Wozza, we love your content, you do a lot of high level stuff, it's way ahead for me, I'm nowhere near that level, can you just give us some tips for newer players just to, you know, help us out? So yeah, we're gonna go through some like sort of basics of what to do when you're just starting the game. And I know it might be a bit boring for high level players in the chat, and there's plenty of them. But we've all been there once. We've all been new to this game, but we've got a head start. And if anything, we need to encourage newer players. You know, bringing them into the game, bringing them into the community. So anything we can do to do that. You know, I've been in the new players chat a few times. You know, giving some advice, ruffle some feathers, because I see someone giving some poor advice sometimes. And I'm like, mate, no, that's not the case. Yeah, you know, they need some guidance, these new players. So I was sort of going to talk about, like, you know, the sort of do's and don'ts of starting up with the game. So if you're new to the game, you're trying to find your feet, I've given like sort of 10 tips that I think will sort of help you do well in the game. Now, it is a free-to-play game. Money will help you in the game, but just make sure if you are going to spend on the game, it's within your budget, and just make sure that you're spending on the right things. That's the important thing. There is some things in this game that are good value. There's some things in this game that are really poor value. So first on the list, we're going to talk about bundles, because it's very easy to get stuck into a spending pattern of buying bundles and buying things aimlessly, because people like opening crystals and going, oh yeah, opening crystals, and you get this shiny thing when you get the 4-star and things like that. But that doesn't mean that you'll do well in the game or it'll bring you success. When we talk about drop rates, right? If people talk about drop rates, it's how much chance you've got of getting that bot. And generally, in most crystals, you talk about a 2% drop rate. So out of 50 crystals, you'll probably get a 4-star bot. But if you ask people, there's a lot of tales of people getting a lot worse odds than that and a lot better odds. So generally, that is generally the odds you will get in most premium chips. So don't get dragged into buying premium crystals, and we'll talk a bit shortly about the best bundles to buy. But let's just talk about the things not to buy first. So probably the worst value in the game is this Energon and ally filling. So to give you an idea, you could probably fill your Energon in about an hour's worth of gameplay, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at a push. But you can fill your Energon in 2 hours, say, very easily. Again, harder at lower levels, easier at higher levels, but it is very achievable. Now, 37,000 cyber coins in the shop. Let's round it down to 30,000. Is $100. $100 for 2 hours of gameplay is a ridiculous amount. I've not known anyone to ever buy these. I've actually said to Space, listen, you need to change these and reduce these right down to like 100th, maybe less of what they are right now. So whatever you do, do not buy any of these guys. The worst value in the game. Now, in terms of bundles, so if you're chasing just 4 stars, Prem Crystals will suffice. But generally, playing events, doing well in events, you'll get 4-star bots. They'll come, guys. Don't be too stuck on trying to get 4-star crystals very, very soon. But if you are trying to get a specific bot, if you're trying to get that specific bot free to play in Prems and 4-star crystals, you are going to be there forever, guys. You've got to be extremely lucky. You've got a 2% chance of pulling a 4-star, and then there's like, what, 60 or 70 4-stars in the game? So you've got a 2% chance within a 60 or a 1% chance as well. It's astronomical, the chances of you getting said bot. So if there is a particular bot that you do want, then specific bundles are the way to go. And specific bundles are these. So in a Cybertron Jetfire Crystal, there is only 4-star versions of Cybertron Jetfire. There are different 2 stars, different 3 stars. Because you buy a Cybertron Jetfire Crystal does not mean that the whole bundle will be Cybertron Jetfire. There'll be different 2 stars, different 3 stars, but the 4-star, if you get a 4-star, will be Cybertron Jetfire. And if I was going to advise you on which bundles to buy, I think if you were to buy a $40 bundle, you would most likely get that bot. Within a 2% chance, if you've got 80 crystals and not got it, you'd be quite unlucky. And generally, from experience, $40 bundles is where I go at if I want a specific bot. And I tend to, most of the time, 90% of the time, get that bot. So, if you are going to buy bundles, the $40 bundle should suffice said bot. Now, if you want to try the $20 bundle, it's about a 1 in 50 chance. If you have 50 crystals, you'll probably get it. It's a bit less of a chance with the $20, but still a decent chance. So a decent chance in the $20 bundle, a very good chance in the $40 bundle. So the choice is yours. But no doubt the best value in the game is the Cyber Pass. No doubt. Absolutely crazy. Every single month you get all these rewards for $10. But obviously you have to play the game and do the things that crop up. So it does mean being active in the game. It does mean participating in wars. It does mean doing raids for resources. Plenty of things that you have to do. The quests are there, and the quests do get easier as it goes on, and you do get more as the pass goes on. So I haven't really done much towards the pass, been quite lazy this month, if I'm honest with you. And I've nearly completed the pass. And I'm sure there's most people in the chat right now have probably completed this. So very easy to complete, even for lower players, and great value. So that is something that I would definitely look to purchase. Even free to play players, I said, I'm free to play. I don't spend, but I do buy the Cyber Pass because it's such good value. And if you want to progress in the game quickly, then the Cyber Pass is definitely good value. With that being said, though, there are some things in here I would save till you get to the later levels in the game. Don't be too quick to use your G Metal XP core unless you are spending. Don't be quick to use your troop research for lower levels. Save them for them big level 50 and level 60 upgrades. Trust me, when it comes round to it, you'll be thankful that you saved them. Same for the building upgrades. Don't use them until you're maybe HQ 14. It'd be very easy to think, oh, just use the building upgrade. But when you get to HQ 14, and those upgrades are taking 8, 9, 10, 14 days eventually, when you get to HQ 16, 17, you'll be thankful that you kept them. So don't be too quick to use some of the little things you get and save them for later on in the game. In terms of the shards, they are the main reason. It's 4-star dupes, but when you're starting off, it's very hard to get 4-star dupes. So the easiest way to get 5-star bots is to get the side pass and compete in events the best you can. In terms of bundles, when you do start the game, the new starter bundle is very, very, very good value. I would advise buying that as well. I think it's $20 for the bot one and $20 for the Septicon one, maybe even less, I remember. But very, very good value. Outside of that, everything else in the game starts to get expensive. So the new starter bundles, brilliant value. Cyber Pass, brilliant value. And if you're not too stuck on getting that specific bot, then just take what you get, guys, and enjoy the game for very little money or free to play even. Next up is cyber coins that you get from achievements. Don't come around often if you don't spend. If you're free to play, those coins are vital for progression. And I would advise, if you do get cyber coins, spend them on build bots. There are a few offers in the shop to buy build bots. If you are willing to spend on the game, I would suggest buying those. They are very good value because build bots are relevant straight the way up to HQ 17. You will always need build bots. They help to progress your base faster. Progressing your base faster gives you a few extra perks, which we'll talk about in a second. But build bots are massive value, so I would say spend on that. After that, I would maybe look at spending any resources on research. Research is a massive bottleneck at lower levels. You'll find that there's bots waiting for research. You're struggling getting the resources for it. So the main focus is obviously build bots, progress your base, getting 4-star bots, which we talked about through different avenues. And the next thing is getting your bots through that research. So use them cyber coins wisely. Don't go and buy crystals with the cyber coins. You'll be very disappointed, guys. You might get lucky, but most people are disappointed and you start it on the back foot. The more 3-stars and 4-stars you can get early on in the game, the faster you'll progress because you can do more points, you can do better in events, and you can push to a better alliance. Opposite faction. So opposite faction are great. They're a lot of fun, but they serve very little purpose other than giving you more teams. Now at the start, it's all well and good having extra bots and opposite faction, but as you progress in the game, it's very hard to level up both. It's very hard to put spark into both. You'll find that you just don't have the resources to do both. You'll be stretched. Most top players don't bother with the ultimate faction. Also, the factor you've got to think is you can't, at the minute, get the opposite faction combiners. So even if you get all the parts, you won't get the opposite faction combiner, guys. You can only get combiners from your chosen faction. And as you can see there, I've got plenty of bots on the Autobot side, all leveled. Decepticon wise, I've got a single 5-star, and my top bot is level 40. And it's literally ability 1 and put any spark into it at all. Spark can be hard to come by. Don't waste it on opposite faction. It's good for events to get more teams out in the start maybe, but I wouldn't put spark into the level them. Yeah, fine, but again, that research bottleneck, if you've got too many bots, it's hard to get through it. In the long game of things, it just makes the game a lot harder by doing both factions, and once you start doing it, you sort of get stuck doing it and relying on it. So I would stick to one faction in the beginning. Next off is defense. So I see a lot of players that are like HU 10 and 12 saying like, oh, I made this new base design, what do you think? If I'm totally honest, it's irrelevant. You will always have higher level players coming beating your base with high level bots, and sometimes using 1 or 2 bots, and it's kind of demoralizing to see that. And you'll start looking at your base going, oh, I've got to find a way. And the only thing you can do on defense is pick good defense bots. Pick good outpost bots. Because no matter what design you choose, guys, it is going to be irrelevant. Don't get stuck too much on base design. Level your base. It's important because it spurs on certain things in the game that you need to be a certain level for. So upgrade your base. Very important. But don't get too stuck on the design. Level your bots. Always prioritize attack over defense. Level your bots. Put some good bots in the outpost. Just because it is a high level bot does not mean it's a good outpost bot. If you want to know what good outpost bots are, go and check out my videos, guys, on the outpost bots rated. And if you've got any of them, 3 and 4 star, sometimes it's even better putting a 4-star in than a poor 5-star in terms of outposts. Some don't even work in outposts. So go and do a bit of research, guys, on some good outpost bots, and make sure your outpost bots are on point, and don't worry too much about defense. In terms of rushing your HQ in terms of progression, it's a good idea in a lot lower levels, because it gives you extra ability points at the start, extra time in battle. But once you start getting to the likes of HQ 14, 15, 16, you'll find that some good alliances require you to have good defense. Now, if you're in a war-focused alliance, which a lot of the top alliances are, defense is absolutely vital. Now, yes, we do have the rookie part of the Alliance HQ coming, so people will benefit from that, but you still need to be good on attack. But it's still relevant defense at later levels. So in the start, rush your HQ. As soon as you can upgrade the HQ, upgrade it to get those benefits. But don't get too stuck on doing that. There's too many times where you will see a HQ 14, 15 with like HQ 12 defenses. You do have to kind of catch it up, or you're just going to get absolutely rolled over in wars. So if you are getting to a point where you're getting into wars and you're interested in wars, then defense becomes massively important. So just remember that. In terms of the best bots in the game, I've done plenty of videos on this, and that's going to be a point I'll talk about later. Just go and do your research, guys. Don't be scared of going in chats and saying, what's this guy like? Is he good? Does he fit my team? And team composition is very important. Just because you've got 8 bots that are the strongest does not mean they will work. To give you an idea, my war team is not my top 8 bots. So that's generally my war team. A couple of bots do get swapped out, but that's them. But if you look at my top 8 bots, some of them are not even in there because they don't suit the purpose. You do need certain bots for certain jobs, and make sure your team composition is important and relevant rather than just your best bots. If you're going to put 8 warriors in a team, it's not really going to work. No, you do need some damage dealers in there. You do need maybe a healer at higher levels, tanks, gunners, jets, different sort of classes. So just keep that in mind, guys, that your top 8 bots won't always be the best. And if you want to know which bots are the best, then go and check out some content. In terms of resources, so Energon and Alloy are quite easy to come by. 3-star shards, very easy to come by. 4-star shards, not too bad. 5-star shards are like end game content. 5-star shards can be very hard to come by. In terms of spark, normal spark is quite hard to come by. Combiner spark, combat spark is very hard even for top players. Unless you're spending serious money, it's going to be a resource that you find really hard to get. So don't spend it needlessly. Make sure you hold on to it and use it on bots that are relevant and combats that are relevant. Don't invest in it just on a whim and go, oh, I wish I would have done that. Make sure you're spending it wisely. Very hard to come by. In terms of cyber coins, they are only available through purchases. It's the only way. And Zen is one of the hardest things to get as well. People still struggle to get Zen at lower levels and complain about it endlessly. But it is a kind of end game content as well. But it is good because you can get XP with it. So getting a good amount of Zen means you can trade it for XP. 1 million XP for 100,000, which is good. But But yeah, in terms of resources, in terms of other ones, in terms of XP, yeah, use that. In terms of boost, they're just there available to sort of help you. But these sort of things, as I mentioned earlier, very hard to come by. Only available one in the side pass per month. Hold on to them. Very, very important. Very, very vital. Don't waste them needlessly. Um, and then lastly, just if you want to progress in the game, guys, if you want to enjoy the game at any level, that's fine, enjoy it. But if you're interested in progressing quickly and you want to do really well, you generally need to spend on this game. But spending alone won't get you there. There's a few things you sort of need to do as well. And one of the big ones for me is joining a family in the game. You can join an alliance, no doubt, and one or two things will happen. You will either outgrow that alliance and need to find a new one, or you will make friends and you'll want to stay there. And even though you've maybe outgrown it, you'll want to stay there just to play with your friends. And that is fine. But if you want to progress and you're hungry to be one of the top players maybe and play at the top level of the game, then I would advise go and join a family, because the way they work is the best scorers, the best players progress upwards. So you'll always kind of play with people around your level. So as you progress in difficulty, you'll stay with the same sort of people, the same family. So you're still around people that you like and are friends with, but can progress through that family and get better rewards. So if it's something you are interested in progressing in the game quickly and doing well, then I would consider joining one of the top families in the game, or at least a family with a decent amount of alliances. And if you're not too sure what they are, if you join the Discord server, which is the next thing coming to, there are places in there that advertise their alliances. But yeah, joining that Discord server, guys, is so vital for information, things happening in the game, for asking questions. There's people in there that are willing to help, especially that new player chat. There's plenty of decent players in there that are willing to give you advice, and take that on board with a pinch of salt, though. You know, some players will give you bad advice, but there's some top level guys in there, like myself, that will give you advice. You know, listen to them. You know, they've been there long enough and played the game enough. They're not there to sort of troll you and give you poor advice. They're there to try and help you and learn from their mistakes or learn from their wisdom, and go and, go in them chats and ask plenty of questions and go and search for information. And leading on to the best tip of all is subscribe to my channel. That is the #1 tip, because obviously every sort of stream we have these discussions. I read questions in the chat, and yes, a lot of my channel is aimed at end game content, but you can look at that and go, you know what, I have this bot. Wozza said it's good at every single level in the game. I know if I invest in this right now, it will be worth it in the long run and forever, and I won't regret it. And again, if you're not too sure, you can come in the chat and just ask me. Plain and simple. So yeah, #1 tip is subscribe to my channel. That's the best tip I can give you. But yeah, joking aside, guys. But yeah, go and do plenty of searching for information. Go and check out Wiki, other content creators as well. Go and check out past videos, and just go and get a bit of knowledge about the game, and you'll find it a lot easier. And you'll find that things you're investing in are a lot more relevant and not wasting resources. So yeah, I hope that helps any new players in the chat, and I hope that if you've taken this on board, it can help you in some way. So yeah. So everyone's put in the chat. Yeah, River C4 tip for new guys: never use cybercoins on crystals. True. Yeah, Dojack, you know, come to Discord chat. We'll be happy to answer questions and tips to help you out. Yeah. Definitely. Stanley Michael Ting, morning. Must be the other side of the world, because it's very late for me. What do you have to say about buying XP using Zen? Yeah, well, it depends what level you're at. If you're around level 15, I'd start saving your Zen, because you're going to need it for HQ 16 and 17. You're going to need a lot of it. But before that, then yeah, just use it for XP. I still use it for XP, but I'm maxed out. Fair. Now I'm saving my 3-star shards and 4-star shards. Flow is far slower. Yeah, it will be. If you save your shard, then yeah, it's gonna be a lot slower. Grant, I completed the side pass, including all the sparks and everything else on both accounts. Of course you have. It is great value. I thought about Phil's, but it's great value. And £10 a month is fair rate. Yeah, I agree. When we were talking about this, Dale said these are the things that are going to be in the pass. What do you think would be good value? I think about $20 would be all right. $20 about the given rate for that. What you're giving away. And then he said to me, "We're going to have 5-star shards," and I was like, "Oh my god, that'd be amazing for $20." And then when they announced it at 10, I was like, "Wow, wow!" So very very good value. Um, yeah, J-Rad's put, I use all my skips on the 18-day upgrades. Yes, save them. You're gonna need them, honestly. King Grimlock. That's a good point. That's a good point. $10 for a Sire Pass, and you get all that for $10, or $10 on a name change. That's a good point. But as Dojack's put, yeah, use your first coins for billbots, definitely. Shanix and billbots, good point, Calvin. You can get Shanix free to play to get billbots. Can you get all billbots though from the Shanix store? I'm not too sure. And based upon that one opinion, you know who some are the older players are. Yeah, maybe. Robert C4, yeah, the point in the game I'm at, I gave in and got some of the character crystals with no luck. Yes, a $40 bundle sadly is the one you need, but yeah. Agreed, you get some coins for some achievements, but very little and very late. Yeah, agreed. Vixen, rank up Rust Dust. Only if you've got skids, though. Rust Dust on our own, nah, not too good. Snakes, would you consider Tarantulas to be a good outpost bot? Yes, I think I've got Rhinox, aka Tarantulas, in my outpost. I think it's down bottom left, maybe somewhere down here. No, Red Alert, Hot Rod. Oh no, I swapped them out recently. But yeah, still a very good outpost bot. Still very good. Opinion on Brawl or Prowl? Good at lower levels, but once you get to HQ 16, 17, they start becoming less relevant because there's a massive hike in HP, and they start to be able to not one shot. At HQ 17, you can't one shot. It's massively irrelevant at HQ 17. I used my Prowl to good effect up to about HQ 15. Once it gets to HQ 16, I dropped him and stopped using him. That's my 5-star. And I think this gives you a good idea on what I've leveled and why. I'm very economical with my team. There's some top players, like Grind Time, that will just level anything regardless of how good it is. But I'm quite economical. So, yeah, Pro 63 to give you an idea. And in that new players chat, I was talking about Strafe, and someone said, oh, he's a flying Sentient, he's really good. I was like, he's not that good. He's alright. He's not that good. So to give you an idea, mine's level 56. And the only bot that's lower than him, I think, is Optimal, which is awful as well. Obviously, Brawn, Ares started with first day, and Silverball I've got very recent. So the likes of Strafe, the likes of Optimal, the likes of Snarl, the likes of Hound, I wouldn't bother too much with, really. They're not very good bots. And yeah, but I have done a video on the top 10 worst 5-stars in the game. So I suggest you go and check that out, guy, and try and avoid them. Plain and simple. I always say play the odds, guys. Play the odds. If there is a batch and you look at it and go, there's 3 bots in there I don't want, chances are you're going to get, because there's 3 you don't want and 2 you do want. Chances are you're going to pull one and pull ones. If you look at a batch and go, there's 4 that I like and 1 that I don't, chances are you're going to pull one that you like. You might pull that one. But you know what? If you do, every time you pull from that batch ever again, you're going to get a bot that you need. So look at the batches and sort of, what I do is I sort of sit down and sort of rate them out of 10. And I rate them out of 10, and then I'll write, I did this actually in one of my videos. I write out of 10 what each bot is, I add it all up and go, right, that batch is worth 40 points. This batch is worth 37. That is worth 42. Because that's 42, I've got a better chance of getting a bot that I want. I'm going to go for that batch. And I have done that, and that is why I spent a fraction of what some of the top players have, but can still sort of compete at a good level. But yeah, but obviously the ones around the top here, I'd say the top 4 rows, definitely worth investing in. You can't really go wrong with those four. They give you very, very good value. Most of those bots up there. So, yeah. What else? So Victor's put before level 80 you can buy Zen with Shanix. Ah, good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good point actually. Yeah. I've got to give Josh a shout out. He goes to other alliances and hits 300 and shares all his techniques. Very, very good. Good. Josh, if you've got any videos like that, then send them my way online or something. I can show them in stream. It's something I want to do. Actually, I might do actually stream actually while we're here. So yeah. Charlie plays. Shout out to Wozza. Started here a year ago as a gold level player. Now I'm in Prime League. The servers and players help so much. Awesome community. Well, good, Charlie. I'm proud of that. You know, I like to help all players. Started this channel for that reason, and I'm glad it's helped you in some way. So good. And thanks to the H for that cheap bundle. We'll steal that $2. I still use my prowl with Zone 1. Is it what? What? And PL Hamo. Gotta know how to use him. I know how to use him, but there's just better bots out there. A lot better. Marco's put, I like Ryan's in defense, but sometimes if he doesn't get killed fast enough, he will get hacked by the age. He'll walk up and his transmitter will hit the base. Ah, good point. Or you could, well, yeah, it's a good point actually. Interesting. Be prepared to pull a potato. Mark Cooper, are you going to upgrade your 5-star batch rating soon? Wozza? Maybe sooner than I think. Maybe. I'm going to hit Tex up and see what he's available for. If not, I'm going to do it on my own. But yes. Obviously, is Cup your only max bot? I think so, yeah. I think Cup's the only one that is level 70. So, yeah. But even he's not max. He's not level 11. Because it's irrelevant. So, yeah. Cup is. Is it hard to start a second account? Anyone recommend it? No, I would not recommend it. The grind for one account is real. It's a massive, massive grind. So I tried a second account. I tried taking over Jake's account. I just didn't have the time. I struggled for one account, to be honest with the amount that needs doing to it. But yeah, a lot of time needed for one account. Well, Master Ninja, you've been here for a while. You must know what one account takes. Then turns that by 2. And it only gets harder as you progress. It doesn't get easier. It gets harder. The amount of resources you need and wars, things like that. So, yeah. Vic Ching's put, hey, well, I fancy the idea of doing a podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, like uploading what you said in the videos. People can listen while doing other stuff. Not really, to be honest with you. I just think that you could do the same with YouTube. I do this with Freeze's stream sometimes. So I'll put it on when I go to bed, and usually I'll just fall asleep. They used to do it with Grind Time stream and Hoist stream and everything. Hoist stream's a bit too late for me though. But yeah, normally put it on and go to bed, and you know, Grind Time used to make a joke that it makes me fall asleep and I'm boring. But as it wasn't the case, it's just late at night for me, and I'm usually up early in the morning the day after. But then what I normally do is I sort of think, man, where did I leave off? What's the last thing I remember in the stream? And as I'm driving to work, I'll put it through the speaker in the car and sort of drive to work and listen to it like a podcast. So you can sort of still do that from YouTube. If I'm honest with you, and you want to do it that way, yeah, it's fine. But yeah. Snakes, would you temporarily start a new account to make vids and tips for the early campaign? I did try doing that, and it was so difficult. Like the time it took, again, I just thought it's too much time. That along with a top level account, it was very hard. I started to do it, and it just fell away. To be honest with you, but it is a good idea. If I had more time, I would love to do it. But my time's just better spent, if I'm honest, doing other content, playing the game, and also I've got 2 young children as well, and a wife, and a job as well. If I was doing YouTube full time and earning enough money, something I would definitely do, but we're nowhere near that stage. So yeah. But yeah, but that's what happens, doesn't it? When you start earning more money from YouTube becomes a thing, you start investing more time into it. And I invest quite a bit of time into this right now. But obviously, I still have a job to be able to support my family and support my lifestyle and everything else like that. So, you know, that takes precedent. That's the most important thing, really, is maintaining that. And this is like a more of a hobby in a way. I do treat it a bit like a business in a way, you know, kind of. But yeah, more like a side business, like you would sell on eBay maybe or sell on Amazon. But then you have your main job that you focus on. You sort of do a bit of that. But yeah, it's not quite a job. Um, what else? I have two. I never play my second unless it's an anniversary event. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, Jakes I do. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, Dojack never attempts to start a second account. Just pick a side and stay focused. Must move XP question. How much XP how does XP get spread across bots? For example, I take 8 bots and show available 50k. Then only use one bot. So okay, so yeah. So how XP works. So let's just round the figures up. Let's make it a bit, you know, unrealistic. Let's make it. So let's say I take 5 bots into battle in my shuttle, and then the XP from that zone is 50k. If I drop all 5 bots, and it's not what you take in your shuttle, it's what you drop. So you can take as many bots as you want in the shuttle, and this is a good tip for playing events free to play as well. So say I take 5 bots, just to make it easy for maths. Say I take 5 bots, and it's 50k XP. They will each get 10k each. If I drop just one bot, he gets 50k. If I drop 2, the 50k gets split between 2, and they get 25k each. So it's how many bots you drop. It's the XP on the screen divided by the amount of bots you drop. But don't forget, you can get XP cores. Where's the XP cores now? Are they in the core lab, I think? Yeah, I think the time. Yeah. So you can get XP cores. So you got your G metal and your gold. So with a G metal core, you get an extra 150% XP. I would only advise using XP cores if you are spending, because you only get 24 hours. So you need to get as much XP as you can in 24 hours. So what I advise people to do is, if you are not a massive spender, but you are a spender, wait till these alliance events, these big endurance events, because some great prizes on offer. You can get a lot of leveling done, and you're getting prizes for it as well. Don't go and use an XP core on a 10k event, because you're going to finish the event and have it just wasted. So save your money if you are going to spend for a big event and you think those rewards are good rewards. Spend on some fuel and cells and some coins and use an XP boost and smash that bot out. If you've got bots at level 51 plus, then I'd use it on that. You could get a lot of value out of it. Before level 51, the research is going to slow you down and sort of hinder you. So don't use an XP boost really until you get your bots to level 51. Then start using it, and then you need it 51. After you get to 60, you definitely need an XP boost to get those bots up, because XP is so high, it gets hyped so high. But yeah, that is the most. But I've done some cup lagooning videos, I've done other leveling videos. But go and check that playlist out. The most effective way to level is still cup lagooning. If you've got cup in a 4-star, he's the best leveler in the game, better than any 5-star. And yes, no matter what anyone else tells you, a 4-star cup with a lagoon on is the best leveling tool in the game. 2 bots, zone 15, pretty much 100% success rate, getting like about 800k XP for the bot with the XP core, something like that, million XP sometimes. Very, very effective way if you are spending. If not, I think the best way to level is by taking 8 bots on a shuttle with the aim to drop 1 or 2 and dropping them bots depending on the base, whichever suits. Because taking just 2 bots, them 2 bots might not suit that base. For example, you might take Pipes and Rhinox, 2 very, very good bots. But if you come up against a time trap, you are going to struggle to beat them time traps with those bots. So, you know, but then again, Cup would jump or Lita and make that easier. So take an array of bots if you're leveling free to play, drop 1, swap the bot out, go again, and just try and kill as many zones as you can with one bot to get the maximum XP and to get a decent amount of points as well. What else? A lot of questions in it. I like this. I like this. How much time do I spend on the game per day on average? Actually playing the game? Maybe 2 hours. How much time do I spend reading chats, answering questions, reading Discord, creating content? Maybe about 4 or 5 hours a day. So quite a lot of time I spend in chats, learning what's happening in the game, what people want to... I mean, it's different because I'm a content creator, so it's different because I need to have my finger on the pulse on what questions people are asking, what's happening in the game, so I can do that as part of the news. So a lot of it is just information searching and answering questions and being a sort of something in the community people look at and go, oh, that's that content creator. So people just get to know me, so it improves your subscribers and your views. You have to be sort of well known, don't you? So the way of doing that is being out there, really. So playing the game, not as much. Because I'm maxed out now, that's the reason though. So when HQ 17 dropped, I was probably spending about 4 or 5 hours a day of a weekend. If I'm leveling, that can easily go to... I don't want to tell you here now. So on this weekend, I'll probably spend about 4 hours a day this weekend to do 25k, 4 or 5 hours a day. But that's sort of split. I'll probably spend an hour and a half, have a break, an hour and a half, have a break, an hour and a half, have a break. If I was going for the 5-star, I'd probably be spending about 6 to 8 hours a day to get that 80k points needed. My record of 140k points in an event, I was spending about 12 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to get that 140k. So it can take a lot of time, but the amount of XP and leveling I did from that was madness. Like, I was getting bots from 51 to 65, where that was the cap. I did that with about 4 or 5 different bots. I literally leveled half a war team in one weekend for about $150 that one weekend. I don't mind talking about money wise. I don't mind talking about that because that's realistic what it's going to cost. But yeah, for $150, $200, you can get a war team from 51 to 60, but you do need them skips for level 60 as well, so you need to be at that point. So yeah, but it does take money though if you want to be a top player. That's the same in most mobile games, but you can play free to play if you're enjoying the game as well. So yeah, no problem. It depends how competitive you are. It goes to show if veteran players say lower levels are too difficult, and maybe the game is now. Yeah, it is. It is too difficult at lower players. I do need to prove it. Grind time. I wish I'd never taken all Maxton's account. Yeah, definitely. Do I have a certain build for Rook or Block? I did for a long time. I sort of switching between Vangatron and I'm getting really good at it because I'm in a con alliance now. I'm learning the con ones better than the bot ones. Vangatron and Shieldron. But it does hold him back a bit. But it is good because if you drop him on the launch pad, you get a free use of a hollow because it does pop outposts. So it reduces your costs down. But it does keep him back. So what I tend to use him for is I'll drop Rook on the pad, pop an outpost, then drop the rest of my team. And then Rook will go forwards. I do like my Cronus to sort of heal, but I'm not sold thinking my Cronus is perfect for that. But I just don't have a place in my team for it. A lot of damage in my team means I need a lot of enhanced ordnance cores, volatile mixture cores, things like that. So there's no real room for my Cronus. Attempt to put on a healer, if I'm honest with you. But I don't know. I've currently got other cores anyway. I won't go into more, but that is my setup for Rook, or I'd maybe switch the combat out for some kind of healing combat to keep your tanks alive. You want them tanks at the front and alive. Sosh move anytime, bud. That's what we're here for. Anytime. What else? Yep. Challenge players put endurance and combat release at best times level. Both massive value. Agreed. Definitely. How do you feel about the Cheese Club? Let's start in. What you want about Cheese Club? I don't have a clue what you want about. Spencer, I wish I had the 4-star cup. Yeah, he's good. We do need a 5-star version though, Penny. We do, good Penny. We do. Um, Spencer, the best I managed is 20k points at HU11, spending nothing. That's not bad. No, it's not bad. I think the most you'll probably spend, the most you can get free to play, like if you're a top level player, is around 40k-ish. I've heard people say you can get 40, 45k maybe free to play, but that's playing all weekend. Vic Ching, if you have one wish to SpaceX change the game, what would it be? Just one. If I had one wish, and it'd be granted, it would be to remove research from everywhere. But you understand it's necessary evil. Either that, or to give themselves more time and resources to create content. Yeah, I think that's one of them too. I think. Yeah, if I was talking about for everyone in the game, it would be to remove research. But I don't think that's realistic. I don't think they're going to do that. They could remove it up to 50, like the level 10, level 20, 34. I think they could do that, but they just chose not to. But if it's being really realistic, it would be to give them more time to create content. And I think they're coming along now. But everything's just rushed. You'll find sometimes that when they bring out new content, it's buggy because of that. I just think they need more resources, more people working for them, or just more time. But yeah, that'd be one of my wishes. Cool. Okay, well, keep the questions coming, guys. But we're going to talk about a bit about some high-level content now, and talk about some war attacks. I'm going to talk about why I attacked the way I did, and sort of explain to you guys some of the reasoning. But first, let's have a check up on the vote and see where we're up to. So where are we up to? Oh, Inferno and Rodimus 196. Rotor Storm's winning the vote, 205. Yes. Go on, Rotor Storm and Spinister. Love seeing them as a 5-star. I've been really pleased with them. If Inferno got it, they might even choose both. You know, they did it last time when it was so close like this between Hound and Blur. They chose both. But yeah, go on, Rotor Storm, Spinister. I actually like Spinister more than Rotor Storm, but yeah, very, very good bot. I'm really pleased about that. I'm pleased because I've got quite a few 5-star pulls. I was thinking I might not pull them actually. I might pull from an old batch, and I think I've got about 5 pulls to pull. I know it says 4 there, but I've got a lot more crystals. I'm gonna just flex a bit now. I've got a lot more. Every one of these is a 4-star dupe, so I've got a lot more crystals as well in reserve. As you can see, people going, why have you not ranked your bots up, Wozza? Because I don't agree with it. I just think it's too poor value. I'm hoping that they're going to one day decrease the value of that. And I'm going to set in preparation for it. Like I said to you guys, I am very cautious with my stuff. My big thing is if you don't need it, save it. That's my saying that everyone will say that I say constantly in my streams. If you don't need it, save it. And yeah, I have 5 pulls. So I'm thinking, I don't really want Roadbuster. So... but I don't really want Inferno, so I thought he would win. To be honest with you, so I was like, I'm not going to bother with that batch. 2 poor ones. It needs 3 really good bots for me to go for it. But if Spinister wins and it's other 3 good bots, that's 4 good bots. Then I might go for it. I might do. Dojack, yeah. I love Tex, but there's no friends in war. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, good friend of mine, Tex, but you can stick your Inferno up your beep. Yeah. Someone's sending that in a clip. Funny. I'll send it to him. Yeah, good friend of mine, Tex, good guy. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's just look at some war techniques and talk about why I attacked the way I did. And here we go. So I did block out so you couldn't see whose base it was, but no mind. Oops, sorry. So sorry to have whose base it was. Cool. Where's my mouse gone now? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this base design, you'll see this quite a bit. Some variations of it. Mine's a slight variation of this with the resource buildings at the front. So when you do see a base like this, an interesting tactic is to actually rush the base. And not a lot of high-level players, believe it or not, rush bases anymore. You'll find it's more lower-level bases. Oh god, that looks a bit weird, doesn't it? There we go. So you can see there, what I'm doing there is I'm taking out the build bot cores that will affect my team. So those were, let's try and rewind it again a minute. Oops, I think it's anti-healing core, I think. You can't see, but yeah, anti-healing core. So I've used a small screen for that because right at the back to sort of take that anti-healing core out. If you are going to rush and you're going to use tracks to protect your team, make sure to get the FFD as well. But you see there, we're just sort of clearing an area. So the idea was, I want to clear this area. So when I drop Optimus Prime, he walks up diagonally. He starts to walk upwards. I want him around this area here. So I don't want him walking anywhere down here. So I'm just sort of clearing this with small screen. So we put him in the middle there, and then we're clearing this area. And because it's an enclosed wall, so I'm just going to show you this quickly. So if I rush this side, the bots will rush through this area here because they can rush through there, they can rush around there, they're going to rush through there and get caught. But because this is an enclosed area, this is what I'm looking for. Because it's an enclosed area, if a bot's around here and I rush, they're not going to run all the way down here and all the way up. They're going to rush the shortest route possible. And the shortest route possible is round this outside straight to the HQ. So now we start to drop Optimus Prime, let him walk upwards there. Start to walk upwards. So you can see there. Then he walks towards there. So then we're going to try and get in range of this beam laser there. And as soon as he does, and we rush, watch the bots now. You see now, the bot starts to run around, run through the walls, because I've weakened the walls. Drop the combiner. Oh. Oops, sorry about the volume, if that's the case. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do now is try and just do damage to this area here, trying to sort of clear it a bit. Some of the bots are not taking too much damage. Magnaboss, Tripredicus, some of the best bots in the game. So all I'm focused on now is clearing this area around the HQ. That's all I'm focused on. And now we're putting that Trax Cloak down to protect them. We're going to slow it down with Brainstorm, take that out, and now sort of all near the HQ. So now we're going to smash the HQ with pretty much a lot of abilities that we've got, especially with, so take a lot of tanks with you. A lot of tanks will help. You do need some gunners to sort of do some damage, but you can see there, all I've got there is I've got Brainstorm, I've got some combats, and I've got Twin Twist hitting the HQ. So you just need a few bots. I can rush the HQ again. I can rush that HQ again, like I said, with Optimus Prime I want to, but those bots should suffice. All you need is a couple of gunners or a couple of high DPS bots. But as you saw there, when you do rush, the gunners will rush around the outside. The other bots will rush through. So warriors are good bots to have because they do high damage to walls. So you can rush through the walls and break them. You can use boost if you want to try and weaken the walls as well, but it's just getting through very quick. And that tactic's called a rush and smash. It was used a lot in HQ 15 days, went away at HQ 16, and I tend to find that with these defenses the way they are clustered, I tend to find that I'm using this more and more now. Why? I maybe even want 5-star Optimus Prime. But it's a viable tactic at lower levels without a doubt. And a good tactic for these sort of clustered bases to get through. But just keep in mind that your bots are going to take a lot of damage as you rush. And if you want to just watch again as we sort of rush through, if you watch the health of all the bots there, you'll see a lot of the bots' health goes right down. Trax Cloak is very important. See there, we've rushed through with pipes to weaken the walls. And then the bots will go through. And this is where they start to lose health. So this is why I've dropped the combiner. Not just to clear that area, but also to prevent that hack and to stop the bots from taking too much damage. So rush and smash, guys. Go and check it out. still a viable tactic coming back in the game. So I'm going to do a few more of these videos in my streams and show people how to sort of beat certain bases. Next up, so I wanted to show this base because it shows some good pathing. So you can see here, so the premise around this base is you will start to one side. Generally, people will start either side when they normal attack. People generally don't start in the middle because it causes a split. So you'll start on the right or you'll start on the left. But it's quite a clever design, this one. So what will happen is, so you'll start on the right here, you'll go through, and your bots will start to walk up here, and you'll pop these outposts and have to battle these outposts. While you're doing that, the bots will clear these outposts here, and your tanks will walk upwards towards this top section, popping the outpost when you don't want to. If that doesn't happen, and you do path your bots downwards somehow, then you'll still probably fight the outpost bots. You'll fight that. When you come to the other end and you've cleared all this area, what will happen is your tanks will walk round the walls and go up here, and your gunners will walk up this way. And that's where the Combiner and the MDS are designed to take out your bots. And it's quite a good base, if I'm honest with you. Having the shield gen on that side means your warriors are really going to struggle getting through these defenses with the shield, and they're going to take a lot of damage. So your tanks will walk around, they'll get killed, your gunners walk up here, get killed, maybe hit the outposts. So the idea behind this base is to actually attack from both sides, split your team in two. That's why 2 healers can be really important. Split your team in 2, go into the middle and send them all up the middle, all together. With a lot of these bases, the big aim is keeping your bots together. If you can keep your bots together, 9 out of 10 times you'll have success. It's when your bots split, you'll start to find problems. And so on this base, we split our team up. So the liage core you want to look out for, obviously because that hacks your whole team, can literally destroy your whole team in one go. The Megatronus core as well, obviously does a lot of damage, so something to be wary of. So you see there we've dropped our tanks separately. Blaster on one side, then we've dropped a couple of gunners this side, one that side, and a healer either side as well. So I've used skids in this area here just to do a bit of damage. It does weaken walls as well. So we've used him there. It's good for slow motion every now and again, even if you're not considering using that bot. Click one of the bot's abilities just to slow the battle down so you see what's happening. Now Minerva here has sort of got dragged over this side towards Rook, who's taking a lot of damage. I wanted the healer to stay over this side, but she ran over here and then got damage from reflection from the resource building, did a bit of damage to her and died. So I lost a healer quite early on. But you can see there they've cleared the area now, and then they both walk inside towards the outpost box. So they're walking inwards. I'm trying to save my combiner for his top section here. If I can save my combiner for his top section, I can take half his top section out easily, very easily. But I do need to pop as much of this as I can. So you can see that I'm trying to see if Rook's in range. Slowing it down now. So the combiner's popped. Then we're using Brainstorm. Love this tactic of using Brainstorm and using a combiner. So you see there, Brainstorm with the damage there. Taken out. Drop the combiner. So taking the left section out pretty much with Brainstorm. Actually dropped the combiner on the wrong side by mistake. I planned to drop on this side and help clear that section. But we actually did a good job of clearing that already. So, but luckily, my combiner walked upwards, which is a bit weird. I thought it'd walk towards the middle. But then we help to clear this area here. Try and clear as much as we can. We don't want to pop this outpost, but I think I do pop it in the end anyway. But we're trying to path away. If this wall section over here was open rather than there, we'd have got through. We'd have been fine. But because the opening's close to that outpost, then we end up popping that outpost as well. But you can see there. So we need to take out as much of the defenses as we can, because Galvatronus and Skyrim, when they die, makes the defenses invulnerable to damage. So you don't want them defenses hitting you for that entire time. So I've taken those defenses out, and then we've only got that one defense left. And you can see there with all the healers, they're getting plenty of healing. But by this point now, we've got 1 defense, 1 build bot, and 1 outpost. Be careful of Breakneck, doing crazy damage. Watch this now, crazy damage. There we go, look. Took half Rook's health away, so it's important to take him out. But we've got plenty of DPS there. And then it's a case of destroying the HQ and base down. Cool. So, yeah, there's some cool, like, war strategies for you to sort of look at. We're going to be doing a few more of these on the channel to show you guys how to beat certain bases. And we're going to post it on the channel. But as always, don't forget, guys, when we do create these videos, I'll create into a short segment. But it is only available to members first. So all videos that I create are only available to members only. So consider being a member. I am also considering, I'm going to be doing an interview with Dale, and I'm considering making it so that any members that I have can ask Dale questions direct, but it will be members only. So the stream will be available for everyone, but the conversation with Dale will be that we take any questions from members only, as a perk for saying thank you for being a member. So that's something you're interested in, asking questions. I'm trying to get maybe Jesse on the stream, or Yanis even. It'd be good to do a bit of a Q&A with them. Obviously I'll be asking some questions and taking questions from members as well. So yeah, if you want to take part in that, guys, consider being a member. Anything I can sort of do to give my members good value, I'll try and do, and it's just something I thought would be pretty cool. So yeah. What else? Pin Lancaster, Tex is going to be so mad if Inferno doesn't win Wozza. Going to get kicked out of Horde. Because G1, it's alright. Spencer, I really need swoop. Easiest way is a swoop bundle, buddy. $40 swoop bundle, but it means spending. Wozza using Dazzle on Optimus. Yeah. I wanted to try it because it was good. I don't really use Optimus other than this, so I don't even know if it works, but yeah. No chat, when will ice be declared an official damage type? I don't know. The apes are denying it exists, so you tell me. Spencer, something I've done is I use a combiner, create an opening to the HQ for the rest of my bots, sometimes completely ignoring some defenses. Yeah, whatever works for you, bud. Rubber C4, look where Ironhide is in the meta. No, Ironhide's a good bot. It's not I'd never use him. He was awful for a long time, along with Pipes. But he's still very good. Still a very good bot. It's not I'd never use him. I don't have the 5-star, and the 4-star is not leveled, so that's it. I was shocked that they wouldn't mind getting Pipes. Yeah, because Warriors were so awful back in the day, but you know, not now. Penny Lancaster Daily ignores us on their live stream. Yeah, don't forget though, they haven't got much time. They've got an hour, and they're there to promote new things in the game. And they only do one a month now, so it's very limited. They don't have the sort of scope that I do just to do a Q&A. But I am in talks with Dale about who could attend the stream first, and then when we get that, we'll sort a date out. It could be soon. I'm actually on holiday this week and in 3 weeks' time, so I'm hoping to do that interview as a live stream in one of those weeks. But yeah, so consider being a member now if you want to get into that, where you want to ask questions direct to Dale. So yeah. C4, you were the #1 Ironhide hater a month ago. No, it wasn't. No, it was way before the buff. I say one of the worst bots in the game before the buff, but the buff was months ago. No. I'm not hating Ironhide for quite a while. I've actually said I wanted Ironhide recently. Yeah, it's a good bot. You know, but all Warriors were awful about 6 months ago. About 6 months ago, I actually made a video of all Warriors are awful. And as I was producing the video, Space 8 Buffy Warriors. Of course it did. Maybe it was in reply to that stream that I did that. I don't know. Maybe it was in reply to the video. I can't remember what the timing of it. But they buffed Warriors. But I was going on for ages about how poor Warriors were as a class. And they buffed them. So yeah. Dojak, which Titan do you prefer on defense? Now, after seeing it, I prefer Fort Max. Mine's at level 18 and leveling mine now, because I didn't bother with him. Because in test he was pretty awful, but I just find people getting a bit more success out of him now for some reason. I'm not sure they buffed him. I don't know what they've done. I don't know, but it seems to be a bit better than Metro now. A lot of people are saying that their fort maxes are beating Metros and beating Tripticons. So yeah. Man, new Brits and all your holidays. Yeah, I know you call it vacations, but we call it holidays. Mercenary, I like Tantrum as a warrior. He's all right, but he doesn't have the shield that the rest of them have, sadly, and just dies too quick. But yeah. Oh yeah, Robert C4. Yeah, no doubt about that. Before the buff, I was hating on all warriors. Definitely Ironhide. I said one of the worst in the game. I remember saying that. Yeah, awful, simply awful. But no, he's alright nowadays. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah. So I'll cut the vote. Quick look before we sign off. Alright, just all my content. Inferno Rodimus 197. 207 for Rotorstorm. Come on, Rotorstorm. See, the problem is, like, you got to think, like, who do I dislike more? Do I dislike Wozza more or Tex? And I vote for the opposites to annoy them. You get people doing that. Oh, Wozza said Rotorstorm. I don't like Wozza, so I'm going to vote for the opposite of him. Like, madness. Just vote for who you like. Doesn't matter who I vote for. Madness. Cool. Well, that is it for today's stream, guys. I really enjoyed this stream, actually. I enjoy the Q&A. So, if you are a new player and you've been in the stream today asking questions, come back next week, guys. Ask some more questions. Tag me in the new players chat, guys, if you want. It's fine. I'll always reply to a tag. But please, I do get some people messaging me sometimes going, "Hi, Wozza. How are you?" And guys, I get quite a few of them. And I'm like, it's nice. But I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy person. If you want to message me, guys, just tag me in the new players chat and I'll catch up with it whenever I can. I don't have notifications on anything. I just check the chat on regular things. But I do have notifications on DMs. So if you are going to DM me, guys, make sure it's very important if you're going to DM me. Other than that, there's places you can tag me rather than just DM me. Get me notification. I was actually in a meeting the other day with my area manager and I got a DM. I was like, oh god. Yeah, I got a notification for it. I was like, what's that? I was like, sorry. So yeah, just hit me up in that new player chat. Ask some questions. Come back to the stream next week, and we can do this Q&A every week if you want. I've quite enjoyed it, so it's been good to help some new players out, and that's something I'm sort of trying to do on my channel a bit more. Is try and help new players in the game. So if you are a new player, then go spread the word, guys. Go and check out Wozza. It's helping new players out, doing the best it can, answering questions and whatever else. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been a really good stream, I think. I've really enjoyed it. Loads of content coming soon with the new combiners and Alliance HQ, and we're still supposed to be talking about what updates. Dale said they're trying to work on something to make events less battles. I was baffled talking to him. I was like, how is that going to work? And Dale's like, even I don't know. So, but they are working on something to make events a bit easier. So loads of things coming to the game. Can't wait for that new combiner. Can't wait to balance it. And as always, we'll try and give you some sneak peeks and say how the testing is going. Give you my opinion on it so you can invest in it or not. So, but the best way to never miss another stream, guys, is hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny. I still have people saying, like, how much it costs to subscribe? No, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, guys. Honestly, all you need is a YouTube account. You press it and it will let you know. Just make sure you got YouTube notifications on. Make sure you click the bell icon to let you know, because some people have the bell icon clicked but have notifications from YouTube turned off on their phone and so won't get the notification. So just make sure you've got notifications for YouTube on and notifications from my channel on. You'll never miss another stream, never miss another video. And if you want to get all the latest videos, consider becoming a member, which does cost money, but subscribing is the best way you can support me, is by views and by subscribing. And a big thank you to everyone subscribed, that's watched, that's a member, supported me in any way, shared it. Big thank you, guys. Really do appreciate all the love and support. And we will see you next week. Big thank you again. And as always, guys, peace out.